Hello and welcome back to the Snooker 19 Community World Championship. Today we have a best of 5 between Halborn13, who's representing John Higgins in this year's competition, against Presh, Gary Wilson. Now the last round was a best of 3. Halborn got through that from a bye. One of the top seeds, the top 4 seeds, got through that round from a bye. And Halborn has also got a YouTube channel, it's important to note. He does a lot of snooker content, he's doing some golf content over there, so go and check out his channel. Unsurprisingly, I suppose you could say, he's Halborn13. He plays Presh, who beat Cameron Starr by 2 frames to 1 in the first round. And now those first round jitters are out the way, it's time for a best of 5. This is where it gets serious, and joining me in the co-commentator's chair, once again, is Mike Chin. How are you today, sir?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm excited to watch this one. Halborn beat me last year, so he's a very, very good player. And I've said this to his face, Toby. I hate him but love him at the same time because he's so good. But he also beat me. But he's struggling with this. He's in a bit of a pickle at the moment, and he's just misjudged the weight.
Certainly has. We've said before that there's no harm in giving away a point or two, and there you go. He's played that one pretty well second time round. Now, with the unfortunate withdrawal of Rainy Lamb, Halborn, I don't think he is second seed. He might be, actually, because he's on the other side of the draw, but he's certainly one of the top seeds. I think it's commonplace and common opinion that Halborn is probably the favourite to go and win this competition, would it be fair to say?
I was going to say I'm not a gambling man, but I am, actually. But if if I was to bet on this, I'd probably put some money on Halborn. He's very, very good. Doesn't lose many, and also he just has a lot of confidence.
So let's see how his opponent gets on. Presh, representing Gary Wilson in this year's competition, as I said, beat Cameron Starr by 2 frames to 1. We didn't see that match on the TV, so can't really say too much about that, but we get to see the first and maybe last of Presh today. But let's see how he gets on. Again, we can't misjudge the opponent. It's funny how these things can go. You know, it's not always that the favourite wins these matches.
Nope, definitely not.
A bit more to get our teeth into this time. I think that maybe in the first round we saw a little bit too much safety, purely because of what was at stake. You know, if you go 1-0 down, then it all of a sudden gets tight. But you can have a little bit more of a free reign over a best of 5. Not at the first few minutes of this exchange particularly shown that, but
yeah, it's a bit of a safety battle at the moment, and yeah, again, even though it is the next round, it is the first frame of a match, so they just feel each other out, and that's a great shot behind the brown.
I mean, Pressure's played some outstanding shots so far. That's the second we saw earlier on when we were giving the preamble, and Chinny referenced it as well, how he played a good shot earlier, but this is another excellent safety. I think that Halborn should be okay to get out of this, as he has, and he's played that very well. And in the first round we saw some questionable shots. We were only commentating on a match yesterday where they kept missing the pack and all the rest of it, but it's early days, but this seems a lot cleaner. Yeah. And it should be a very good quality match, but we're just waiting for something to happen, for somebody to go into the reds, and we could be waiting a while here, but there are little pockets potentially coming if somebody is to make a mistake. But at the moment, no surprise, nobody giving anything up. Thought that one was heading straight to the corner pocket there, but no, the draw saves him.
Halborn is the type of player to just take anything on. You know, he's very aggressive. He doesn't like the safety game. He wants to score, and he wants to get the frame done as soon as possible. So I can't speak for Presh. I have no idea. I've never seen him play, so I can't speak for how he plays, but I know Halborn Lee, he's going to want to get this done quickly. So he's just waiting. He's just waiting for that chance, because I know safety just isn't really his thing.
It's not his thing, but he's not doing a bad job of it so far.
No,
that's the only reason that somebody hasn't got in here. We know both of these players are good players, but as you can see, some very good safety being played so far. That's probably the first. I mean, we've had a few roll-ups, I suppose, but that's probably the first negative shot we've seen. We've seen some very good shots going around the cushions from Presh, but it's starting to get a little bit negative now. But I guess there's no real problem with it as long as it doesn't keep going on and on. Yeah, but if their potting ability is anything like their safety ability, this should be a good quality match. That's all we can ask for, really.
The only reason I can think he did that containing safety was just it guarantees that you don't kick any reds out here. But the only problem with those containing safeties is that they're only good if you've got a red in the ball carrier, because it's such an easy reply. It's almost not worth it. So that's exactly what Halborn has done. Has just done. So this is why you didn't want to do it. Look, is this reason here? It's because
he's got away with it, mind you.
I think he's got away with it, but he's just so worried about leaving something. And for me, that already, if I was Halborn now, that would already give me a bit of a confidence boost, knowing that he's scared to play the bigger shots, because he knows that he's so dangerous. Is that a plant, do you reckon, Toby? Is there a plant there?
It looks possible. He had a quick look at it, but nothing more than a glance, at least for now, unless he sees something a bit more than that. But I think that Presh has got away with playing a poor shot there. This is actually a tricky shot for Halborn, because he's got a number of shots available, but what's going to be right, so that the table is a little bit more open now, so there is that risk. That plant, he's not looking at it, unfortunately, but I think that is fairly close on. It's tricky to tell from this angle.
Yeah, there's a bit of distance, a fair bit of distance between the reds for that plant, so I think he's rolling up to it. That's what he was looking at the pack. He was just seeing, and again, another containing safety, but this is a cleverer containing safety, because he has to, his path back to bulk is tricky here. And he was just checking on that side of the pack when we was looking at him, if anything goes. And I think the only thing he's left here is the red that he hit, which is at the very bottom. Actually, I don't know if he can go, because the black might be in its way.
I was just thinking that, actually. It's certainly tight down there. And as a first pot of the match, I don't know whether I'd be taking that on.
No, again, it's not a simple shot to nothing. This is just an example of why shot choice is so important when you're playing snooker. That was a brave shot to play a thin safety like that around the back of the pack, but it's paid off very well.
And it's all stemmed from that roll-up we saw earlier, didn't it? You know, you were saying that it was an easy reply for Halborn, and ultimately it's all stemmed from there, that Presh tried to be a bit more ambitious, and we thought it hadn't worked. Luckily, you could say either it had worked or he's got away with it, one of the two, depending on your stance. But this is a slightly more open, but not really, because, again, it needs another opening of the red, you would have thought, for somebody to take something on here.
Yeah. I mean, would you rate Presh? Have you seen Presh play before? Is he...
I can't say I have. I mean, but based on early exchanges, dismissing that one shot, he's played some very, very good safety. It's certainly up there with Halborn, and if you can match Halborn again, I think he might well be second seed in this tournament, because he is on. Yeah, he was in match number 16, which means he would be second seed. So he's certainly up there. Jay Page being the first seed. I think we've got him in the TV matches in a few days' time against Roast Beef, so that'll be an interesting one to see. But on this side of the draw, Halborn probably the favourite. But while we have a look at this safety exchange, let's have a quick glance at who else on this side of the draw. So the winner of this match will play the winner of Virtuoso Reloaded against Big Mac. I was going to say Lee Mac then. I don't think Lee Mac plays snooker. But then we've got also Mr. Dino, Wednesday Eyed, Sam Miller, and Lee Mac 147. On the side of this draw. So this will be an interesting one. I think Halborn may be the favourite to get through just by virtue of ranking, but as we've seen, it doesn't always happen like that. And it feels like I'm watching the same shots over and over again, but there is some sort of, I suppose, admiration you have to have for that, for not being too impatient. You could call it negative. Again, it all depends on your stance, but both players just waiting this out.
There's absolutely nothing on, and both players are playing the right things here. This is really tough for people that need reminding. Safety play on Snooker 19 like this is really difficult. And a shot like that, look at that, that's amazing.
It is good. Has it just... I think he's just about escaped to snooker there. He's just gone past the brown, hasn't it? I think he's got a line. It's tricky to tell from this angle.
Might have got away, even with a slight swerve. It's not a difficult one. It could have been a lot harder, but still.
Yeah. Is he going for the pot?
Wow. Wow, that was a brave shot.
He took his life into his own hands there. Well, I was just on about that both players had been quite containing and played the right shots. And I know it went in, but I guess if it hadn't gone in there, I guess we can't talk for the Cannons. It might, of course, coming out of the pocket at that pace.
It was a lottery. It was a lottery where that white was going, really. But it's paid off, and
it has. It's the first chance of this frame.
These reds are nice as well. They're not all on, but you could. This is a frame winner, definitely. There's enough reds to take the frame. Very impressed by Presh. Again, this is the first time I've seen him play, and that was a great positive shot, and maybe a little bit of impatience, but what a great shot to take on.
You've got to have a mix of the two sometimes. You've got to be positive and sometimes negative. And well, that was very positive, to say the least. But it's worked out for him. It's the first big chance. You would say there's a few reds on here. That's... Ooh.
Is he going to make
Blue.
it?
Come on, Blue. I was just about to say that Tommy Triangle could learn a thing or two from the way Presh is playing here, but I'm having terrible flashbacks to that match now. The way that he's played that. But,
that was a lot of table. Yeah, he's all right. He's okay. Yeah, I'm impressed with this. He's back in amongst the reds again. Well, really, he's just got to do the easy work here. Just pick off the loose reds, and that will probably, without doing the maths, see him through most of it.
Yeah, the most important thing is he's making a good account for yourself. Not necessarily winning it in one visit, but getting a few points on the board. And I suppose against Halborn, you might say that if you get a chance, you ought to take it. And that was a lucky positional shot there. He got away with murder there, but sometimes you need a little bit of that. Absolutely. But there's certainly the potential, as you say, for at least a few of these loose reds, and it does beg the question that obviously in the best of three the first frame is crucial, but I guess you could argue the same in a best of five, particularly as Presh comes into this one as the underdog. It
settles the mind, I think, if you can get one frame on the board, and if you can just prove yourself. I'm just speaking for me. I'm worried that I'm just not going to make a fool of myself, so once you get that sort of out of the way, it takes the pressure off, and you start playing better, and you start playing a bit more positive, and just like real snooker, you just tend to see the angles a bit better.
But there's been no complaints of that from Presh so far. It's been he's kept the cue ball pretty well.
Definitely.
So let's hope he can carry that on. He's got a chance of making a decent break here. Let's see if he can hold this for the black. This is going to be an interesting shot. You could say he's coming a little bit further up than he'd have liked there, which has impeded the shot choice. But again, I guess he's played that a little bit with safety in mind, but actually he's pretty much bob on straight with the blue, which in Snooker 19 these shots are a lot easier than they would be in real life. So
the blue
much more of a viable choice, and exactly as you called it last year, I think it was the chinny phrase of the cheap blue, and I think honestly it's so right, really, that it's probably one of the easiest shots you can play. I mean, it's still missable. No shot is completely foolproof, as we've seen. We've certain shots in the past that should have been easy, and he made that a little bit harder than it could have been. But
he used a bit of a pocket there, definitely. But it's just a tactic, really. It's the long blue is a ridiculous hard shot in real snooker, but in Snooker 19, it's not too difficult. But then again, some of these small cutback shots, fine cuts, which would be easy in real life, are very difficult in Snooker 19. So it's swings and roundabouts, really.
Absolutely.
It's one of them, but he's sort of flicked a couple of more reds out here, so it's not been the cleanest break in the world, but he's let the cue ball run away a little bit. But he's getting the job done, and I think if he can get these two reds gone and a decent cannon and two more reds, I think he's done enough work, and he can start to relax. But Halborn is I know Lee a little bit, I know Halborn a little bit, so I know he's going to be really frustrated that he didn't even get a shot in, really. He didn't even get a chance so far. I mean, I know John Higgins looks very pleased in the back there, I can assure you Halborn's not pulling that face.
No, of course not. But at the end of the day, you can't legislate for those sort of shots that Presh could have played. Because if he was a few inches out with that, then Halborn probably goes and makes a century.
Definitely.
You would say, with the chance he could have had. So, but to be fair, we could see Presh make a century here. It's early days, I appreciate all that, but this has been a good break so far. As you say, what have we got? We've got 7 reds left on the table, 83 to play for. So, black in the next red is 53 with 75 on. He edges closer. Just needs a few reds here to get close to the winning line. And he's gone into them. What's the split going to be like? And that's not bad at all.
That's nice. Very good. Very good split.
48.
So with those 3 reds, which he's brought out into the open, he's going to win the frame with those with fair ease. So it's just all about controlling these, playing them at that sort of pace, nice and reserved.
That's it.
And he should get the job done here.
No heroics, as my dad used to say. Just get the job done.
And for everyone in the comments, I've just realised there's an extra red up bulk.
Oh, there you go.
Oh dear. Well, that's an extra hurdle. But actually, I think even with these 2 reds that are free, aren't they? Yeah, there'd be 67 left on the table. So
I'm shocked that
scores
he's
high value colours. Then he's just fine just with those 2 reds.
Shocked that he's gone for that yellow, because I don't know why he didn't go for the blue. It was easy to get onto the red, and he plays these shots with a ton of side. When it hit the cushion there, it had a ton of left hand side, but it seems to be working for him. But it's very confusing.
Very high risk, particularly in an opening frame when you've got such a lead and quite an open table that I think anybody worth their salt would get a few points out of.
Yeah, he's getting rid of this red on the top cushion here, and
59.
it's again, it's not as hard as a shot in Snooker 19 as it would be in real life. So
it's not, but he needs to get onto a colour, doesn't he? If he gets on a colour here and pots it, then it's frame over, barring Snookers. That red is there. Nice hit off the cushion, and this black should, secure the frame. And we can then start talking potentially about a century break here, which he has got a chance of, you would say. But let's just get the break to a level whereby he wins the frame first off. Taking a bit of time over this.
You might want to cannon into those 2 reds together if you can. That's what I'd try, because you've always got that guaranteed red on the bottom right. But no, he's played for that one, which still goes. It's not a big deal that he's on the cushion, really.
67.
But yeah, it's just a little bit trickier to get on a colour now.
It is. But the most important thing is that, barring Snookers, Presh has secured the first frame. At the end of the day, he got in with that magnificent shot, which is one of the shots of the championship so far that I've seen. He makes his first mistake of the break, you would argue, by not being on the black very well, although again, there's not really much risk. He might as well go for this to keep the break going. There's only 59 on the table, so it would need 4 Snookers from Halborn to get back into this. So he might as well take the black on and might end up on a red here. Let's see.
The pink's also quite easy as well.
Yeah, he's getting your option there. And that's harsh.
Yeah, I thought he would have got that.
It was fine margins, real fine margins. Is Halborn going to play on? I think more so, maybe just to get a bit of potting practice. I know that sounds really daft, but in an opening frame, you just need it sometimes. Bit of confidence, get your arm going.
He's put the wrong side on the ball.
It was interesting.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to do that. He put a right on it, but if you want the ball to come down the table, maybe he's just messing around at this point. I think he's just whacking them and giving them a fair go, because there's no need to put all that side on. I think he was just getting some aggression out, getting some time on the table. I don't think he's playing to win, really.
No, you wouldn't say so. No. And Presh's played really well. He can take some good comfort in that in the first frame. And just that benefit, you could say, I know Halborn's a better ranking, but rankings don't matter in this sport, really, when it comes down to individual matches. Who wins the most frames. You don't start with any sort of advantage just because you've got a higher ranking. And maybe does that bit of match experience, that best of three that Presh got, give him a little bit more confidence. Again, he beat Cameron Starr 2-1. So, a bit of experience in this tournament so far. I think Halborn may be under a lot of pressure, probably being the favourite now. Rainy Lamb has dropped out, and also having the bye from the first round. The first round can be tough to get through, but can also be one to just get your eye in if you're playing a weaker opponent. And from what we've seen from Presh so far, he's not going to have that luxury here, is he?
No. He's obviously ready to play, and I think he might try and snooker him after these, because he's took pink and 2 blacks here, so he's probably going to play on. Whether he should or not, I don't know. I mean, it's a decent chance, but can you work out how many snookers that he's going to need? Is it 2?
I think he needs 4 here, because he was
4?
I think he was 49 back. I think 47, 48, 49 back. Well, he's how many is that? That's 48 back, isn't it? 48 back with 35 on.
Yeah, there you go. He's putting
the
right.
If he can get this one, he'll need 2 snookers.
He's put the correct side on it this time, reverse side.
What did he do? So what does he play here then? Where does he try and get the snooker? Is it now?
I think he really should have played the snooker with 1 red on, because you can always get a free ball if there's a red on. Obviously he's gone past that now, so it's ideally you want to play snookers with more balls on, because it's easier to snooker them with more balls on. But if he plays up to the blue, then he gets 5 points for every snooker now. I mean, it looks like I don't think he's got it there. So I think he missed the boat. He should have played. He got a little bit greedy and should have played with the red still on. Then you've got a slight chance you might get a free ball, extra red, and then you're on to a winner. Here he's struggling because he's just potted the yellow, and he less and less balls, less and less chance to snooker them. So I think he might have thrown this away on that last red.
Yeah, I think he did need 4 snookers in the end. Again, showing my maths ability that obviously there's only 27 on the table with 41 back, so did need those 4 snookers as we mentioned earlier. But again, it didn't really come to pass there, did it? Presh played well enough to secure it from the outset, and Presh takes the first frame. So a little bit of a surprise. Yeah,
I wouldn't have had him, but again, I don't know Presh. So I can't really say much about him, but I know Halborn won't settle. He's a battler, so it could be anybody's game.
Big frame here for the smiling assassin, John Higgins. I know he's not called that, but in Snooker 19, you can't not call him that. He doesn't refrain from smiling at all. And a big frame here for Halborn when you think about it. If he goes 2-0 down, a lot of pressure on him. Let's see how Presh gets out of this snooker, which has been laid on too early on. Nice. And that is played pretty much perfectly.
Very nice. Yeah, very good shot. Halborn's already on his back foot here, so again, containing shot he'll have to play, and then Presh will play pretty much a standard safety shot. So he's trying to see, this is what he's trying to do. He's trying to put him in a position where he's got to open up the reds, hence why it's a little bit wider, I think. I'd try and put him behind the black here, but yeah.
Let's see how this
goes. It's clever where he's putting him here, because it forces him to hit the pack a little bit heavier than he normally would, which might force a red out, so that's nice. But it's tough, and I know Halborn does not want to be in these battles. He wants to pop balls. Oh, was he snooker red out? No,
he hasn't. That pink's been his saviour there. I thought he might have gone a little bit too far, as you're saying, maybe opened something up. But again, a tight start here based on the snooker that was laid up earlier. Might be a bit more negative play from both players here, as you'd probably expect, really. Presh is 1-0 up now. Halborn's got to be mindful that if you leave Presh a long pot, he'll probably take it on, and it might not work this time, true, but based on last time, that was a pretty frightening pot, as I said. Probably a contender for match of the tournament. Match of the tournament, shot of the tournament. It could be a contender for match of the tournament.
We never know.
Not quite there yet, but Just a thin safety here. It's back up to the bulk, and it looks like that's where it's going to return after this. Just a thin nick off an edge red. Goes past the brown. Where's this going to end up?
Pretty straightforward reply, I think. Just as we're looking at it now, just hit the right of the pack and you're back in bulk. I'd be worried if I was Halborn now that you've seen that Presh will just go for anything. Certainly starts to play mind games.
Well, that betting man inside of you might change his mind. This is good stuff. Again, if you think we're coming into this thinking Halborn's going to win 3-0, possibly not. But I am impressed with how well Presh has played so far. You know, you've got to consider the first round matches we've watched, and this is by far the best snooker I've seen from players yet.
Touching ball, so Halborn will be pleased. Just has to judge the weight right here. Doesn't have to touch a red if it's touching ball, of course.
But this could develop into a bit of a chance. Let's see.
Yeah, players like it if there's a touching ball. It's a big opportunity to put the white exactly where you want it. I wouldn't say that's ideal.
It's not ideal, but it'll do. At the end of the day, it's safe. I know he didn't have to do too much to leave it safe, but nevertheless, it's. We've seen some strange shots played from similar positions, so that's pretty safe. And Presh with the reply here.
That's a better shot, I think. He's more directly behind the bulk colours.
We can't get that thin nick on the edge of the pack now, you see, so. Halborn going for maybe a reminiscent shot that Presh played earlier. This is a risk. If he takes this on, it is one of those all or nothing shots.
This is great. I think this might be a little bit of impatience. But he pots these though. He does pot. No, is he chickening out? No, he's eyeing it up. He's lining it. He's going for this, I think.
He likes the look of it, doesn't he?
He just fancies
almost like
it.
Hello.
Here we go. This is a key shot.
All or nothing.
Oh, he's
and again. And again.
It's a bit dodgy at the top.
And again.
Yeah,
God, we'll be here all day.
It's hard to hit that power wall when
it's strange quirk how that works. And finally, after all that time, we get what was... Well, it was worth it, wasn't it? Absolutely worth it. What a pot that was.
This is a dream scenario now.
It is. And I think, as we said yesterday in one of the frames, we might as well go and put the kettle on, because you'd say this is Halborn's... Well, might be captain, obviously, but this is certainly Halborn's to lose.
Yeah, this is exactly...
It is amazing how you can get these brilliant opportunities and make a mock-up of it straight away. You can almost get into that mindset that I've won the frame, and I can whack the balls about now and I'll be on one, and that can very soon come to be a problem. But
yeah, like real snooker, you can just completely just take your eye off a ball and be thinking about the next two shots, and then you miss it. I've done it before. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. So he's got to keep his concentration. The reds are spread out here, but as he's having a look, he's realising that this red covers this red covers this red, so he's got a little bit of a puzzle to unfold. Again, he just has to sort of roll this one in. He's got the option of 3 reds here, and he can take his pick, but the more reds you take, the more reds it opens up. So I'd be tempted, as soon as he can see a red in this, the bottom half by the pink and black, as soon as you can take one of those, I'd be taking them, because every red he takes opens up 1 or 2, but as it so happens, I don't think he can see one. Maybe that one just below the pink, and he's not looking at it, but the one below the pink could go. I think it can, but he hasn't spotted it, so yeah, it's tricky. It's quite deceiving actually, but you can really slip up if you're not careful.
Yeah, definitely. Don't want to play this with too much pace, really, if he's playing this on the cushion.
No, they can rattle.
And I think he's listening to us. He's playing with topspin, but if he's playing it at that pace, you should say, as long as it's accurate, of course, it should go in. He's missed the power bar slightly, but that's been okay for him. It's just about whether he holds for the colour, which he absolutely does. He can get on the pink here.
Yeah, I wouldn't gonna go for the black.
Yeah, it's a risky one, isn't it? You take the cue ball, as you said earlier, the cue ball can go anywhere. The pinks have got a lot more control on.
For me, it's just because the black would go. I think if it does spot, then it would go very close to that red, and then if it doesn't, then it could go on the pink, and you start to make a mess of the table then. So,
17.
I think that was a good choice avoiding the black there. Again, great shot selection from Halborn. Just needs to be careful. Don't do anything crazy. Pick off the easy reds, and just think every easy red I take opens up another red. So
yeah, absolutely. You would expect this to be fairly, we've said it might not be, but you'd expect this to be fairly uniform. But it is funny how things can change. But Halborn is the type of player probably will be thinking a few shots ahead, and has got a bit of a plan in place. But if you look here, can he just? I thought he might have been blocked off by the blue, but just about.
No,
okay, so
yeah, he needs to really chip away at these reds now. These group of reds at the bottom, because he's going to have to get in there at some point, and as it so happens, he might have to. Yeah, I mean, he's going to play the black, I think, but I'd take the blue, because that black is just, if it gets respotted, it'll be right next to this other red. I don't like it, so I would take the blue on. Yeah, he's looking at the other reds here. He's only got one really that goes. This is tricky. He could mess this up,
It could.
The white that's closest to the white, between the white and the pink, is the only red that goes, really. Yeah, he's going to have to play the white of this perfectly. He's playing it with a bunch of topspin. So maybe he's trying to get on this other red here, but I think he's going to hit it, so yeah.
He is. That's definitely not in play now.
He still has that red.
29.
Sort of one of the reds that he can play into the... No, he can't see it. Oh, he can. He can see that one. Okay.
It's tight though here. It's a lot tighter than maybe it should be. I know we can talk being commentators here, but looking at the chance that he had originally,
yeah,
I have to say I'm shocked that he's in this position after only taking 29 points.
Yeah, I think in hindsight maybe he's took a lot of the easy reds and not had a go at picking off these ones, but that was a good shot because he's took a few out now, and it makes such a difference when you move a red or pot of red, because it'll open up the table even more for the other reds. So just by moving those three reds, he's increased his chances by a lot. So here I think he's gonna relax a little bit here. And start taking off these reds, but yeah, I don't like that red by the cushion at the top of the table. I think you should just ignore that one for now.
Avoid that completely.
If anything, you should leave that one for when he's last, so he can get on a yellow or a bulk colour or something. But yeah, he needs to get rid of these. These reds down here is what's going to win him the frame, and that's what he needs to put in his head. So again, I think he has to play the black here, but it's going to tie up a red.
36.
Yeah.
But it'll have to do. Unfortunately, there's not much he can do unless he can cannon that red. No.
Ooh, he was close to it.
Close, yeah.
He's picking these off. He's made it a little bit harder than maybe he could have done for himself, but he still is picking these off. He's still at the table with a break of 43.
Yeah.
Just having a look.
I mean,
at
the red does go, so he's okay. The red by the black, it does actually go, and the black goes as well in that pocket. But it's just little elements of, I know you've got to work harder to get that red, whereas you didn't before. And he's going to have to play what's he going to play? Play the blue, but he's obviously got a different plan. Yeah, I think he is playing the blue. Yeah, and he's got a little bit
44.
between there. I think he played it for the corner pocket, but he's got the green as a backup.
But no, this is good. After he didn't do a lot wrong, to be honest. But after the first frame, the Presh winning the first frame, he could have come into this. He did come into it being quite aggressive. in the same fashion, I suppose, Presh did in the first. But it could have gone wrong. It really could have gone wrong. So this, we said, was a big frame for Halborn to go and win. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's not all over yet, but
It's not
you
over
would
yet,
say that
no.
the way it's going, he's got a good chance here. And at one each, well, it is anybody's, but it puts Halborn back into it a lot more. 2-0 down, that swing, it makes it tricky there for Halborn. It really does. It's almost like no miss snooker from there, and that's why some of the best of threes that you saw in the last few days was so edgy, because it was just so tight. If a player goes 1, look like Presh did, it's no miss snooker from Halborn from there. A little bit with a best of 5, you can give that little bit more leeway. But
This is tricky.
nevertheless,
Oh, that was a good shot.
it is good shot.
Yeah.
Very good shot there.
Wasn't a given, that one.
No, it wasn't. You can say that for a few of the shots so far this frame. To be honest, he's played some good pots.
There's no way he's going to go for that black. Jeez. Yeah, keep it simple.
If he plays the yellow, he needs a bit of pace on this. So let's see. It's a shame that red is where it is on the cushion, actually, because as we said earlier, it's just not in play at all, and becomes a bit of a burden, to be honest, a bit of a threat that if you don't quite get things right, and there you go. He's tried his best to bring it into play, and from a position, it should be in play. But again, I'd stay away from it for now, which is exactly what he is doing.
Yeah, I think it's a backup red, isn't it? It's a red that you can keep there for a rainy day, and this is an easier shot anyway, what he's taking on Snooker 19. Not in real life, but in Snooker 19 it is. So
Good
yeah,
pot.
this should be frame over by now. This is
You'd suggest so. You
bread and
would
butter.
suggest so.
bread and butter stuff for Halborn there. There is no way he should be.
Famous last words those are.
Way.
You should never give him the commentator's curse. I know this is being recorded afterwards, but
just there's no way that
the
he should
commentator's
miss
curse
this stuff.
still lives.
It'd be insane.
So we've got 5 reds left on the table. There's not another one sneaking behind the black anywhere, is there? So
No.
with those
No.
5 reds, there'll be 67 points on the table.
67, yeah.
67 on the table. So he leads by 57. So just needs the red and any colour. A red and even a yellow will do, but I think he strives to get a bit more than that now. He's possibly
There you
looking at
go.
this one next to the black,
Yeah,
isn't he?
it goes. He's just double checking it. It did go, but
Okay.
it's good, very wise that he
Oh,
double checked
absolutely.
it.
Even in this position.
Yeah. So this is the red that he wants to get rid of. I mean, as soon as he gets rid of this is the century. He needs the century now.
You can breathe a sigh of relief with that one. He's on the black, getting
It's
black
a-
spotted, and it's level pegging.
It's a statement as well, knocking in a century after losing one. It's really
Yeah.
telling Presh that, hey, I'm not worried about you taking a frame off me. So, yeah, but a bit of mind games coming into play.
Sure, and both players playing really well at the start of this, so looking forward to the rest of the action. The first 2 frames have produced some really good snooker, both in the safety department and the potting department from both players. So we're interested to see what will come after this, but more importantly, we have a potential century on here from Halborn. He could be on for a very good break here, actually. He could be on potentially for a full clearance, couldn't he, if he clears everything up here. So let's see. He's got a potential break of, I think that's a 1-1-1. So pot the black 73 1-1-2-4. I think is the break that's on. He's not helped himself out a bunch there. He's put that red onto the cushion, particularly for future play. Really, he's got to get in quite a precise position to be on that. But more to the point now, this is tricky.
Yeah, I mean, it's lucky he sort of brought it out to play a little bit earlier because it's made it a bit easier than where it was. So this is exactly why you keep a red like that. Just a bit of a backup, and it's worked out well.
Good shot, very good shot.
Can play
I
the
hope he
blue.
makes the century here. Be a great statement, as you say, to make. And,
Play the blue here just to get back on the. Well, you could play either red really, but I think he's going to play the red next to the pink.
You'd be hard pressed to say he'd missed much, to be honest, with how he's played so far this frame. He's. You could say he's not. A controversial opinion, I suppose, but he's not being completely on his marks. I know on Master Plus that you're not going to be perfect all the time. It's inevitable. But he's played some good recovery shots in points where his position has been a little bit off. He's recovered that position. And you don't get a 70 or 80 break by fluke. He's played some very good stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he'll carry on to make the century now. This black
80.
will bring him a break of 87. Then it's red, high value colour. And if you can get the next few after that, then it will be a ton for Halborn. These are trickier than they look, aren't they?
Middle bags, yeah.
The centre pockets aren't pretty at all.
Well, yeah, it's a smaller pocket technically because you've got the knuckle sort of blocking most of it, and then also just the issue of you know, with a corner pocket you've got the cushions kind of
88.
subconsciously guiding your eyes into it, but with a middle pocket you don't have that, so it's a bit of a visual trickery really. But yeah, you just got to pick a point on the middle pocket and aim for it. It's I know it sounds straightforward, but you just got to be wary of that near knuckle because that can trip you up.
Absolutely, but made light work of that. I think he's going to go for the yellow here just to make sure of things. And he does screw back well. We saw a match, I think it was only yesterday actually, it was on the last of the first round matches where Joe, Captain Goodspeed, had a heartbreaking exit due to a shot much like that, and the cue ball didn't screw back, it just stayed exactly where it was, and we had a 20-odd minute battle then with the colours. But
well, that's the issue with Master Plus, is it's just so difficult to judge where that white's going, you know. Yeah,
it's hard, but separates the men from the boys, I think, here. And a nice kiss on that brown.
Lovely kiss.
So this will give him a break of 99. Oh, so close. Trust me, there have been plenty that break down on 99 in the past. So he's spotted a few long-range blues so far this frame, so it shouldn't be much of an issue. And the blue will give him a break of 104.
99.
Potential clearance on here of 110. And I'll tell you something, it's pressure. Pressure like no maths test possible. To be sat in the commentary box and trying to work out what breaks people can make.
I don't even try it, Toby. I don't even. No, my maths is bad. I'll take your word for it, Toby.
Yeah. Well, there's only 2 balls left on the table.
13.
A little bit less complicated.
I can do that.
A bit of mental maths, but when there's 10 or 12 balls off on the table, it can get a bit confused, even for those who, as us who tried A-level maths, let's just say. But should pot the black now. Remember, this is a full clearance, and with that break and full clearance of 117, John Higgins can smile literally for once now, and Halborn brings it back. It's a frame apiece, and Presh is going to break off for frame number 3. Now, how does Presh feel, do you think, here? Do you think he's worried, or I guess he kind of knew that was going to happen? Of course, he would have loved to have gone 2-0 up, but I think if you'd have offered him a frame apiece, he'd have taken it, but that is his first bad shot all day. And
oh, dear me.
It's a small sample size, I guess, but you do start to worry with those sort of shots being played.
Presh is not looking good now, so the pressure is back on Presh. You know, it's always a nice thing if you are behind and you do sort of do some damage and bring the score back. The pressure comes back onto the person who's leading, and just by missing that break, it's just, you know, snooker's a solo sport, and it's, you know, it's all mind games. But even with the video game form of it, he'll be a little bit embarrassed by that miss of the pack, and Halborn will be buzzing now. I feel like, even though I'm not in the room with them, I don't really know Presh at all, but I just feel like Presh is kind of feeling it a little bit, and Halborn's probably enjoying this now.
Wasn't a bad second attempt though, was it? Really?
No. But he's left
put Halborn in a bit of trouble, and I was just about to say this. Has he left the red to the middle pocket?
Yeah, I'd say that's on. That's a chance. It's not much of a chance. What you really want to do is, I don't know, you want to think about can you get an angle here just to go into this pack? But no, he hasn't gone for it.
Hasn't gone for it. That's an interesting one there.
Yeah, I'm shocked because he can go there.
Yeah. I don't know if he's misjudged that completely, because that was a strange shot all round. I don't know whether he was trying to get the touch on the black to make things hard, and I'm not too sure. But
I'm pretty sure he could have gone for that, because
I wouldn't be playing it at this pace, pal.
Well, he wants to do some. This is what Halborn does. He wants to get into that pack. He wants to split it, and that's what he does. Look, there you go.
The risk, though, even at that sort of pace, with the cue ball being so close to the object ball and things being a bit tight, was that colour was maybe not going to be on. And we've seen some bonkers shots so far. Don't play the blue into that. I mean, I guess it's I want to say it's a low tariff shot, but hardly, because surely he can't play a pot from here. But then he played that red at 92%, so it's almost like anything's possible if you're going to do that.
I think he's just had that break under his belt, so he's just so dangerous. Halborn is when he's got his eye in. So yeah, he has missed the blue look, but
shot to nothing in effect there, wasn't it? Really, in the end, played at that pace, as you can see, the cue ball nicely up the bulk, and he's took a few points, which he's took one, which could be beneficial towards the end of the frame. You never know. It could be a tie to one. Both frames been pretty one-sided. Both of the players just getting in and making it do in one visit, which is telling of some good quality snooker. And I'll tell you what, after that mediocre first shot, Presh is right back at it now with some really solid safety reminiscent to what we've seen recently. This is really good stuff, and Halborn's not going to do this easily if he wants to get this over and done with, as you say. He's going to have a hard job at doing that.
Yeah. So we're back into a safety battle. And he's just so good at hitting that power bar bang on. Very, very tricky to do.
And it is crucial, particularly on Master Plus. If you go slightly off, we've seen in some of the other matches how the cue ball can fly anywhere. And you don't know where the destination's going to be. And that's why it's so crucial. You can see he had such a thin nick off the reds there. That he had to be perfect. And that is the danger of not hitting the power bar, as Presh perfectly demonstrates for us there. Not that it's led to too much on that occasion, but just think of where he wanted the cue ball to end up, and it's nowhere near there. So if there is a more aggressive shot at play, then it's really dangerous. Think if he takes that pot on he took on in the first frame, and he mishits the power bar, and the ramifications are quite scary. Just
purely just looking at these two players, I just feel like Halborn has the edge when it comes to the timing of the power bar. He seems to just hit it a few more times out of 10, say like 9 out of 10, whereas Presh just would get it 7 out of 10, and that can make or break a frame, because if you miss that power bar, you can hit the ball too thick, too thin, and cause all sorts of damage. But look at that. I mean, completely contradicts what I just said, but that was a great shot.
Fatal, isn't it? You fatally make a comment and...
No, he has been doing those shots, but I feel like Halborn's just been a little bit more consistent at getting it right. Yeah. And again, if Halborn misses this and contradicts me, then I'm just going to pack the mic up and go to bed. But
let's see.
Yeah, no, he's done it right.
You're okay.
I'm okay.
Your pride's intact for the next 5 minutes.
Don't worry, there's not a lot of pride left.
Very good shot there. Very good shot.
Nice kiss on the yellow. And he's recovered well.
I think it's fair to say here that this frame, I know I like to say about every frame, and it gets on people's nerves, that this frame is really important. I feel like, as we've alluded to, that Halborn's a bit more consistent. I think if he wins this frame, that there's a fair probability he's going to win this. But if Presh makes it 2-1, then that does put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Definitely.
We'll see. And being 2-1 down, does that aggressive approach have to go? I'm not too sure. But
that's a great shot.
Bad shot played again here by Presh, but again, the red doesn't go this time, so he's okay.
No, that was a great shot. And Presh has shown that he really knows the angles around this table, and he's played a few of those two cushion safeties, which are so vital. If you get that wrong, again against a player like Halborn, you can lose the frame, and he's done it time and time again. So hats off to Presh. I'm very impressed with him.
A good line.
Oh, that's cheeky, dirty snooker. I think. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, I don't think you can see the reds here.
I think you could be right. It's certainly close.
That's harsh.
You wouldn't think he would.
Here he is.
The shot he's playing here. No wonder John Higgins has got that grin on his face. This needs to keep going.
Again, look, he's got the right line though. He picked the right line perfect, and just a tiny bit harder.
And I think he's just come far enough, hasn't he, to prevent him having a look at this red that's next to the black.
He should have a look at least. Well, it's hard because the Snooker 19 doesn't let you get behind the ball.
Yeah.
So he just has to look on the TV view, and yeah, it looks like he didn't risk it. So back it goes. So he's just got to hit it a tad harder here. So I expect to get it. Most people sort of understand that.
Looks a bit more pacey, but that being said, it's around the same again.
Yeah, it's about,
in fact, he couldn't have got it as close as he did, to be honest.
I think he literally just hit the same thing again.
Yeah, you could be full thinking we played a replay of the previous shot. Trust me, we haven't. But third shot, third time round here.
I'm confused why he's done that, because he's literally got the number in front of him of the power bar, so, he just added 2 more percent.
There you go. He's done it that time.
There you go. That's it. Yeah, good. This is good play for both players here. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with Presh. I've never seen him play, as I said, and yeah, very good player.
Well, we always knew the winner of this match would be a good competitor. You've got to be good to beat Halborn, and if it is indeed Halborn in the next round, as we alluded to earlier, he's going to be a big competitor, but this match by no means over. Only a frame apiece. Of course, the first 3 gets through to the next round, but the level of safety has been impeccable, and it's needed 2 bonkers shots, it's fair to say, to open things up. And what's happened is, as you've seen, both players have just whacked the reds open and gone for it. There's been no sort of tappy snooker. It's been all or nothing here, and given away 7 points there.
Oh dear. Yeah. And can the red go?
It's getting to the point here that he is giving away maybe a few too many points, that if Halborn gets half a chance, then he might be able to win the frame with not as many pots potentially.
Yeah, I mean, he picked the right line, and if he just squares it up a little bit more and goes into the left side of that pack, he'll be fine. But yeah, it looks like he's got it right this time. Yeah, it's a good shot. But can you see that red in the middle?
Ooh.
I think he can.
It's a tight one. I would say not, but
yeah, it doesn't.
You're relying on that jaw, aren't you, to be nice?
Yeah, you got to let gravity do the work here, but it's a 50-50. I think. Yeah, I think he'll risk it. I don't know. It doesn't look in to me. He's looking at it. It doesn't look in. Yep. He's changed his mind.
Can't say I blame him.
No, it didn't look into me. It looked like it was going to bounce off the far jaw and come back. So he's going for a shot for nothing, I think, and I don't blame him. This is the correct shot to go for.
Yeah.
He might even get it. You never know. Oh no, didn't even.
Yeah, wishful thinking there. That would have been a very good shot with that pace for it to go. He certainly needed the wind behind him, Sales, and
no, but he's got the white in a nice place here. He's hampered by the yellow and the blue a little bit, which does affect you a little bit in Snooker 19, not as much as it would in real life, but it does sort of distract you a little bit. It's tough not to bring him red out here. He's just took that red back in, which is a good shot. He doesn't want to hit the pack, which Halborn might have to here.
There's no sign of an end though here, though, is there?
No, I mean whoever wins this next frame is it's dangerous, is it? When you're 1 frame away after that, yeah, it's a huge battle. So nobody's giving anything away here.
No. As you would understand, there is a quarter-final place at stake here.
I don't like the shot that he's doing here. Yeah, there you go.
This could open things up slightly, but as you say, he's decided against that one.
Yeah, he was going way too thin into that red, but he's just rolling up to it, which, I don't blame him, but yeah, it's such a tough pack at the moment.
It is, and remember that the majority of these points have been through fouls. You know, he potted one red earlier. That one red he potted. It's unbelievable to think that the Reds are like this 10 odd minutes probably after potting a pot into the middle pocket at a huge pace. You know,
he was unlucky with that screw back into the pack.
He was.
This is risky. He's going to hit the paintwork here.
Let's hope he does. And
He's so good at it. He's so good at that.
He's hit the jaw this time, and he's given the brown a hefty whack. I thought, this could be an interesting line. I mean, that yellow and blue is a nice target. Halborn tried to get it and did. But if somebody can get behind those two, that's going to be a real pain to get out of.
Yeah, and the brown's just a nice little sweetener because it can block certain angles and pathways.
Your shot. That opens things up now.
That's
Halborn's
it, yeah.
been patient, just a little bit too thick. And there are at least two reds on, and if you look next to the pink, you'd say that some of these might naturally go. It's tough to tell from that angle, but
I think you're
there's
right.
a few reds that open themselves up now. Just going, I'd rather just whack the ball around for my sanity rather than watching these just roll in.
Yeah.
But this table is open now. Is this going to be deja vu from the previous round? Obviously, he's got that 24-point advantage anyway.
Doesn't have to do a lot here. He's going to cannon into these reds, open them up a bit. Perfect.
So, 2 centuries on back to back. Is it too early to say? Surely not. But.
He's got a little bit of work. There's a couple of reds bunched up together, but these, they're almost like a lineup at the moment. You know what I mean? You take. This is a situation where you take one red and it just opens more things up. But he's got enough reds to win it with that 25-point lead that he already had, without developing and cannoning into this and that. So, I think he fancies this, and he's playing low here on these reds just to get some of these awkward ones out of the way. I think he would have liked to have been on the red, not on the cush, but the one just above it, just to free up some space. But he's just chipping away. Big chance.
Absolutely, it absolutely is a big chance. So if he goes 2-1 up, he'll only be one away from the quarter-final, and it puts Presh under a lot of pressure then. It's no miss snooker from then on. You see what Halborn can do from a chance. We've seen the same from both players, but Halborn has just been incredibly clinical. With whatever chances he's had, he's took them by the throat and done really well.
I think he was checking the black there. I think he was just seeing if the black went. It's he's going to have to play a little bit more precisely here. So that's why he was checking the black, because he's taking this red to the right. I don't think the black went. I didn't really.
If it does, he's got to play this in a really small area.
No, he's got the pink.
22.
Yeah, he's playing for the pink. There might have been a half concerted chance to get on the black if it was available there. But,
he's got a red here, well, he hasn't played for it, but the red at the top of the bunch might have gone in the bottom right pocket.
Possibly.
Could have disturbed some other reds.
A lot more awkward this chance than I think we've given it credit for.
Yeah.
We said they were a line astern and he'd be absolutely fine, but he's making a very good job, and like everything, making this look a little bit easier. Now he's opened a few up. Is there a gap? I don't think there is. Few through to that pink. That brown should go.
The brown will be shot.
It's just moving the cue ball too much. You want the cue ball on a string, and.
But you look at those reds now. Like, he's only got to put the white anywhere on the right side of the pink, and he's on one of those reds. So he's laughing now, and he's got the red in the middle of the table as well. So this is a nice, attractive table for him.
And he's not too far away. He's not, he's not a world away.
No, I would
getting there.
I would have a quick look at these reds. Yeah, he is, but just to make sure, when you're that far away from the reds on the other side of the table, just remind yourself what the table looks like before you take any shots, because simple mistakes can end breaks.
Absolutely. And probably dejected Presh would be right back up for it. We saw in the first frame that he can take a chance. Just the case that Presh's made one mistake and Halborn's made none, really. It's first mistake Presh's made, to be honest, in terms of giving him a chance, because in the previous 2 frames, there was nothing that either player could have done. It was just, well, I don't even know what I can describe that as, particularly the shot from Presh. I mean, that's verging on madness, but it won him the frame at the end of the day. Or at least opened up that chance. This has been the first real mistake that's opened something up, and Halborn has pounced on it. So, 8 reds left on the table. This will make it 7, which leaves 83 points. So he's getting there, he'll be 65 ahead with 83 on, which still needs a couple of reds. I was discussing with Joe the other day, we need the fancy PS2 graphics, the fancy BBC graphics if we have a tournament next year to give us a little bit of help with the maths.
Yeah.
So we can focus on the cringeworthy phrases and all that, while somebody in the background does all the maths for us.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Yeah, he's just playing the pink over and over again. It's the correct shot. He could have played the black earlier, and again, just to display how good Halborn is at picking the right shots out and how vital it is to pick the right shots. And he's just making really short work of it. He's not doing anything mad here. He's just rolling the balls in, making sure that he gets on the pink. He wants to sort of get left of the pink here, so roll it, overcompensate the roll, which he's done. So now he can play easily back onto the reds. Just top draw, really.
Absolutely, and it's just this pink needed. There'll be 6 reds left on the table after this. So it'll be 78 ahead with 75 remaining. And Presh in this one hasn't scored a single point.
That's rough.
It is, and let's see how the 4th frame will go. But Presh under pressure. Surely there's some sort of link there. That's too good to be true. But he only needs the pink. Just roll it in. Just roll it in.
He wants to play for the colours, the reds, man. He's
good
he's
shot.
All in. He's all in.
But if that hadn't have dropped and hadn't have gone, Jesus, that would have been painful had he gone and lost the frame. But he's got a good chance now of winning the frame. He's 78 ahead with 75 remaining on the table. So barring snookers, Halborn has brought this back from 1-0 down to now lead 2-1. And he only needs a singular frame to put him in to the quarter-final. We've only been a best of 5. There's no reason why Presh isn't out of this yet, by any means. He just needs 2 frames. The difference with Halborn is that he needs 1 and he's got 2 bites of the cherry.
Mm-hmm.
But more importantly, he wants consecutive centuries here, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think just the icing on the cake, really, if he gets another century, really then tells Presh that this is my match, not yours.
61.
And he's played all pinks here. This is all just, well, one brown, but mostly pinks. And
yeah, the black not getting a lot of love there, is it, at all?
He's not got greedy, really. He's just been playing the correct shots at the correct times for the benefit of the frame.
Oh,
looks like he's getting greedy now.
The black.
Yeah, well, he's won the frame now at this point, so I don't blame him.
Yeah. You don't blame him at this point.
Lovely stuff.
So what does Presh think? Stewing over this at his chair, made even worse by the fact Halborn's probably going to clear the table.
Yeah.
Just one small mistake, and this has been the result. That's the harsh reality of top-tier snooker, isn't it?
And the other reality of snooker is that there's nothing you can do. You literally just have to watch the other guy pot the balls, and
70.
just like real snooker, it's so brutal. Because you know that when the more time the other player is on the table, the more confidence they get in, the better they feel. It's all sort of subtly sort of going into your head and their head. Yeah, Halborn's loving this. He's absolutely loving this.
We might suggest it's game over though here, but it certainly isn't. We'll
76.
No, I mean Presh can
we'll see.
Still win, but it just makes it such a uphill struggle now.
So potential century on. He's got a 76 break. This is a bit of a cutback, and he's played it like no problem at all.
He's got to score quite a lot of points on the board here because of his 25 or whatever he had on.
That's right, yeah. That's if he keeps going. There's no guarantee of that with how the Reds are positioned here. Obviously won't be a total clearance given he potted that one red earlier. Still boggles my mind how he only potted that and couldn't get anything else. But where is this cue ball going? It's okay.
Oh, he's okay. He's okay.
It's a bit too close for comfort though, if you ask me. But mind you, we talk about there's some sort of consequence. There isn't at all. You know, he's got the frame well won. So he's just fighting for that century now. More points on the board. More confidence. But unfortunately, that is going to be that. So close to potting the red, and that's his first mistake of the frame, but it's not going to matter. Really impressive break of 80 odd, I think, there. But it's 2-1 now. I mean, Presh is going to come back and play. And for some reason, I don't blame him here. You know, it's been a while now. It'd be
I was
great
just laughing
to
at
get one of those.
the glitchy graphics that
Yeah, well, we'll try and gloss over that, shall we?
Gary Wilson was holding the cue on there.
But, you know, it'd be interesting to get one of those graphics up that shows the time since Presh's last pot. Because he had really good proficient first frame, and since then hasn't had a lot. And to be honest, I think that might be it, unfortunately, those two balls. But as daft as it sounds, just getting a pot on the board will give him a bit of confidence.
Yeah, I think people just like to play the table, but he's fouled in the yellow there. But
well, he's potted another ball. That was his aim, but
trick shots,
maybe
innit?
not the way he wanted.
John Virgo.
And, we knew it anyway, but Halborn has put himself into the lead for the first time. Now the question is, can he keep this lead for the rest of the match? He needs one. He's got 2 bites of the cherry. Presh needs this one to go down to a decider, and then of course would need the next frame. So no more chances, no more mistakes from Presh. He needs to do this, and it's no mistake snooker. It's a horrible position to be in, knowing that if you make a mistake it could all be over.
That's the perfect break. Look at that.
Yeah, absolutely perfect.
Pull
and I
the
think
balls back.
Presh, this could be a long frame, this. I don't think Presh is going to give anything up too easy.
No, he has to tie everything up now. He knows. This is it.
And Halborn's got to be careful here. We know he likes to go for the shots. But if he is to go for one and he's slightly off, 2 each, and again, momentum, it's a funny old thing in this game. Presh would go into a decider with that momentum, with confidence. But let's see what comes of things here. Having to come off the cushion does Halborn. And very nicely, as you'd expect.
Good shot.
Back into the pack. Very good shot there, definitely, yeah. So I think it's fair to say that whoever does win this match has got a really good chance of going far into this tournament. They will be in the quarter-final.
Nice.
Only a few matches away from the final.
Ever so closer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Puts the rest in the bunch of the pack, but no foul given. Obviously, referee's blind.
So I will reveal now that the winner of this match, whoever it is going to be playing Big Mac in the quarter-final, who beat Virtuoso Reloaded by 3 frames to 0. That's a bit of a shock to me because Virtuoso played well against Tommy. We covered that match, didn't we?
Yeah, he did play well.
That's a bit of a shock that Virtuoso was lost by such a total. But 3-0 to Big Mac, so the winner of this one will take on Big Mac in the quarter-final. And from then on, when we go to the quarter-finals, all the matches will be on the TV. This is, I believe, the first match of the first match of the second round to be broadcast. We've got 3 more to be broadcast in the next coming days, and then we'll move on to the quarter-finals. So the first display of the second round, and it's going to take a lot to live up to this so far, but hopefully they do. I think we're back in a few days. Again, the dynamic or disastrous duo depends in
whichever way you want to look at it. Yeah,
whichever way you want to look at it, and I'm sure there'll be some wise cracker who wants to comment something, but who cares?
Well, just take my approach and don't read, and then you can't read the comments then.
True. True.
That's the way I get around it. It's a nice little safety battle here. Pack's still tight. Presh needs to make sure that he hits that power bar every time. It's so vital for people who are players of Snooker 19 thinking, why are they missing some of these safety shots? If you don't play on Master Plus, you won't get it. If you play on Master Plus, you'll get it. But if you're just playing on Pro or Pro Plus, then the difference is this power bar. If you look to the left, that blue space is crucial. And getting it just right, making sure that you get it bang on the dot, which Halborn is so good at doing, is vital. Any slight deviant from that power bar, then the white's going left or right, and it could be end of frame. So it's so tough what these two players are doing right now, and the pressure that builds up every time, every new safety shot, every new frame on the board, it just gets bigger and bigger, and Presh is probably feeling it more so. But this looks like a nice shot. Could end up behind the yellow, maybe.
Needs a bit more pace, but it's a good shot, as you say. A real collection of solid shots so far. It's going to take a lot for somebody to get into, but equally it might not take a lot. You know, it only takes one small mistake, as you alluded to there.
Yeah, one little mistake of the power. Yeah. Just it's been done time and time again, where you. And I've played in matches where I've played like 10 minutes of safety and I just missed that power bar once, and that's it. It's over.
But both players know what's at stake. If there is a chance given, it's more than likely that one of these guys will take it, and that is snooker at its best. You know, not just tippy-tappy 10 or 20 breaks.
Do we know? Is
to watch.
I genuinely don't know the answer to this question. So, is there a prize for winning? I think there
are a few prizes actually.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to look up the specifics, but there have been a few prizes offered from Ripstone, who are endorsing the tournament actually. So,
is one of the prizes to touch Joe in the flesh? Is that one of the prizes?
I can't confirm or deny that, but I'm sure the man himself would be able to.
Okay.
To verify. Why does that make you wish you'd entered?
Well, I would have entered if I'd have known such prizes were going for, just to touch his hair, whatever creepy thing you can put in. But no, I'm sure the prizes are fine. I mean, not going to be as good as that, but I'm sure they're fine. But no, it's good of Ripstone to back the tournament.
Absolutely, yeah, it's great. I saw a tweet on the Snooker 19 page this morning that they were wishing everybody luck in the Snooker 19 Community World Championship. So that's wonderful news, and we're really enjoying commentating on these matches so far. Something for us to get into and embrace our inner Dennis Taylor or Dave Hendon if you want to watch Eurosport. But without
the stats
comment,
knowledge,
we'll leave it there.
Without the stats knowledge and the voices, we've just got the accents really. So we haven't got. You know what I mean? We don't have the years of experience they have.
No.
We just have the
Midlands accents.
Yeah.
And everybody loves it. You know that from the comments. You know, everybody loves the Midlands accent.
Oh yeah, not a bad word to say.
No. Never heard of
talking about
word at all.
It's okay. Peaky Blinders made us cool. It's fine.
Oh dear. I bet that none of these two are laughing. I mean, John Higgins again, still the smiling assassin with every shot. But
I don't know what he was doing when they captured his face for the game. He must have, I don't know, must have been thinking about 1998 or something. But he has a right smirk on him.
Absolutely, yeah. It's almost like he knows something that we don't.
Yeah, definitely. This is a great. I know we're sort of laughing and joking, but this is a great. Safety battle, yeah. This is brilliant. Really tough to do, and you're just praying that you don't have to make another safety shot, or the other person messes up, and this could be it. You know what though? It's not that punishing, really.
No, it's not, is it at all? It's not punishing at all, really. Apart from those 4 points, which could be crucial. You probably wouldn't say they will because these frames have been one-sided so far, but you just do never know. You never can tell.
No, I don't think Presh is going to be too concerned about that enough. Hasn't changed anything. Really,
It does increase the pressure slightly, though, doesn't it? Knowing that he's made that one mistake, albeit a little bit. Unlucky.
Yeah, it's all psychological, but it does sort of give you a little bit of a boost. But really, what you're waiting for is that half chance that other person to miss the power bar and completely miss the pack or hit the pack too thick. That's what you want. But no, they're all. It feels like Presh has really, started to sit on the edge of his seat. He's stepped up a little bit. He's paying a bit more attention. He's not making as many mistakes on that power bar as he did in the previous frames because he knows that this is it. He can lose the match if he misses it. So, and Halborn's he's probably not sweating as much. He's probably not sweating as much. I have had the pleasure to speak to Halborn. Last year I did some of the interviews for the World Snooker YouTube channel, and I interviewed Halborn, and he's a pretty cool character, really. He doesn't sweat too much. He doesn't get nervous. He's very confident. I think you have to be good at this game.
Absolutely. Two very good players here, and this safety battle has no sign of ending, except this is a chance. The first one, and it looks like Halborn, as you've alluded to time and time again, don't play it that hard.
He loves it. This is what he does.
Wow.
There you go. That's what he does.
Such a risky shot. But
that's how he wins frames.
Pull it off.
That's just how he wins frames. He goes for those half chances and gets them. And I think he practices those long shots as well. But he knows there's a particular shot that he likes, and it was that one. And when he sees it, as soon as he sees it, he goes for it. He does not hesitate. And that's why the reward is so good for him.
Such a big risk, but such a huge reward, and this reward bigger than no other in this match so far. It's I feel a bit for Presh because had such a good start, and he's hardly had a chance at the table. Obviously, apart from these safety shots, he's not had any chance at the table past that first frame.
This is why Halborn is one of the best Snooker 19 players I've ever come across, is because he just gets those long reds, and Rainy Lamb is the same as well. He just gets those long reds that you think are safe, and you think, oh, okay, I've done a good enough job now. He might go for it, he might not, he might miss, but they very rarely miss them. It's cutthroat snooker, but they're so good at it, and that's why Halborn is one of the best.
Couldn't put it better myself. But obviously, with so many chances, you can start to get yourself into a bit of a muddle of what's the best shot to play.
Yeah, he was looking at the blue there, and you might be thinking, well, why not go for the pink? But he doesn't want to put the pink back on its spot because it's going to tie up the red. It's going to go back on the black spot, and then the black is going to be on the brown spot if the reds stay on the pink spot. So he's trying to keep a tidy table, but he forced his hand there really. So he's probably going to avoid the black as long as he can, or he's going to avoid the black until he gets rid of that red on the pink spot. It's not too bad if you swap the pink and the black, but it's bad if you get the black out and to the top of the table. So he's just going to be careful. But this is what he's good at. Good shot selection. He knows what he's doing. And yeah, he's just going to keep potting those pinks. Those pinks will do.
Absolutely. Anything will do at this point, but
I'm sure Presh
the Reds are nicely set. Not a surprise after he played it at that sort of pace.
No.
So it still mesmerised me how he's... I mean, it's not even getting away with it, is it? You know,
he played it and got it, yeah.
He hasn't just played a hit and hope. Smash and grab. That was... He meant that.
Definitely. And he's so good at those shots, and that's how he wins so many frames. He just steals them from you, like right. He pulls the rug beneath your feet, and you have no idea how he got it. And he's done it to me a couple of times, and it's frustrating. And that's why he just wins so many.
Yep. So we said that before this that Halborn was probably the favourite for the tournament.
22.
That still stands, doesn't it? If he gets through today.
Absolutely.
they'll be shivering in their wake at this performance. You'd do well to see much better than this, and even the best safety players, we don't have Mark Selby in this tournament, but even Mark Selby would struggle against this.
Yeah. Just playing
28.
the pink again.
You feel like the only person who can beat Halborn at this point is himself. It's one of those strange conundrums, isn't it? Really, that he's got out of a few snookers today. Pressures, I can't really see, apart from maybe one point where could have been a turning point in that third frame where Presh made a mistake. Presh hasn't done a lot wrong, has he?
No, not at all. No.
But it isn't all over at the end of the day. It's not all over here. It could...
Oh yeah.
I said that Halborn could beat himself here. It's...
If I was Presh, I'd be putting my cue away, I think.
Yeah.
It's
And that's the sort of predicament you can get yourself into, which can be an issue, because if you all of a sudden have a chance, then you're sort of dazzled, really.
a little bit, yeah.
You don't know what to think of it, and maybe you don't play your best snooker, snatch at a chance. But Halborn has got a very good chance here. He's going to go 40 up with this red, and I don't think there's anything that he's got any sort of bother with here. Obviously, he's not going to need all of them to win the frame, but the majority of these are open to pop. He's quids in here.
Yeah, I don't agree with that last shot. I feel like he still should have gone for the pink, got high on the pink, and he's got, two pairs of reds to play for in the corner pockets. Didn't massively agree with it, because now he took the blue off its spot, so the black's going to replace that. So he can play with that a little bit, but no, I think I would have played for the pink there, but he's okay. He's not struggling at all. He's got options still. But yeah, I'd certainly be looking at sort of keeping down this half of the table.
Yeah, I would too. But Halborn not the type to be too restrictive, let's say. He can pop most of these, so...
Yeah.
But it's just an idea of, at this point, you've got a chance. Just kick your opponent when they're down at the end of the day. Get it, and as you said earlier, Halborn will want to get this done quickly. Kick your opponent when he's down and get the match over. So, as you say, I'd be staying down this end of the table, just making sure of business at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you win the match, and you got nothing to worry about then, rather than playing something a bit haphazardly and maybe worrying that it could be Presh's chance. If Presh doesn't get a chance now, then it is game over. But it's amazing what one chance can do, especially with there only being a maximum of 2 frames left. It's not like a big match of best of 9 or something like that he's 4-1 up potentially. It's
what is the final? Is it best of 9, is it?
best of 9, yeah, for the final. So that should be interesting, I think, in this format, because as we can see, these best of 5s, this has been a very good quality match with, I know it sounds a little bit trivial here, but with little safety in effect. Once the safety's been over, the frame has been gotten into, so be interested to see if that quality carries over into the other matches. And it's not a given, but Halborn, you might expect to see him in that best of 9.
Yeah, I think really it's all to play for now. There's no real reason he should miss. Every red is very, very potable, all in potable positions. The only thing I can really suggest is to get rid of those reds by the pink spot so he can put a colour back on it. But it's not really anything to be too concerned about, unless it was real snooker. But in Snooker 19, these shots aren't too difficult. You can put plenty of distance between the balls and still get them. So, yeah, I think he's looking pretty here. This is a tricky shot.
Just a red needed.
Yeah,
this one needed.
This is a tricky one as well. This isn't easy. You can miss-hit these.
Just keep your eye on the pot rather than the century. This red needed. And it's just about drops. So Boring Snookers, after being 1-0 down, Halborn has won 3 in a row to get through to the quarter-final. Of course, he got a bye in his first match, so we haven't seen Halborn yet. we've seen some really good form from him. I think commiserations to Presh, as we said, didn't do a lot wrong, but it's just a case of he's met a player who's done better today. But Halborn, not focused on that. The one thing he's focused on now is the century, making a second one. Obviously, couldn't make one in the previous frame, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad. There's a song there somewhere.
74.
But yeah, he's got a very good chance at making the century, and of course this time he could make indeed another clearance. So very impressive. Should be an interesting one against Big Mac again. He won 3-0 in these games, so clearly no slouch against Virtuoso. So again, that match will be on the TV schedule, all the quarterfinals on the TV, and the schedule of when those will be available will come out a little bit later on in the week. But just to cover tomorrow night's match while we are here,
75.
the TV schedule, if I can get it up, is Tom Lewis against Sperrin 147. Unfortunately, you'll see neither of us tomorrow. You might be cheering at that, thinking, "Thank goodness they're off." But
the accent has gone.
Joe and Tom who cover that match. Hopefully, at least there'll be those two who cover that match tomorrow. And we'll be back on Friday for Jolly Johnny against Hammer. So we look forward to that one. Before on Saturday, Jay Page and Roast Beef taking each other on. Joe and the man who's making the breaks here, Halborn, set for his first appearance in the commentary box. I mean, the thing is, we've criticised these players, and it's easier said in the commentary box.
Oh,
But
definitely.
I feel like Halborn can get away with saying those things and mean
Yeah,
the way he's played today.
Yeah, I'm an idiot, so I can just say whatever I want and not care. But yeah, Halborn has actually got credibility, and
Yeah, absolutely.
he can say these things about anyone. But yeah, don't forget, Halborn has got a YouTube channel, so you can check out his play if you want to see some more top draw Snooker 19 play. Halborn13, all one word, and he's been playing not just Snooker 19, but he's also been playing PGA Tour 2K21. I'm a bit of a golf fan. I haven't played 2K21 though. Have you played it, Toby?
Funnily enough, I only got it last week.
Oh, really?
I bought it last week and I've been playing a lot of it, even though it's been out for a while. But to talk about golf, I haven't bragged about this yet. I haven't bragged about this too much, and I am going to do while...
Go on.
In fact, is he on to make the century hit? No, he isn't yet. So
No,
I'm
you're
gonna get this
okay.
in
You're okay
quickly.
for a couple of balls.
Right. We were on about gambling earlier, weren't we?
Yeah.
And the Masters were on a few weeks ago.
Mhm.
I only went and picked the winner.
Did
So,
you really? I don't
I
even
did.
know
I
who
went
won.
and- I went and picked the winner.
I don't watch golf like Snooker, so I like to. I play a little bit of golf, but I don't really watch it. So who won?
Matsuyama won it. It was a bit of a shock. Hideki Matsuyama won the Masters, so
Did you get the good odds?
33 to 1. It's,
Oh my God.
£5 each way. So
Oh
that was
my
quids
God.
in. And I'd also picked out Justin Rose as well, who got in the places at 66 to 1. So I put a
Wow.
fair whack on. You know,
You
I
did.
Put, £40 on actually, but it was well worth it. I got nearly £280 back.
Wow.
It was nice though, because the Grand National the previous day, it's fair to say that they struggled to get past the first fence. But swings and roundabouts. But no,
Well,
I don't
yeah.
have much of a bet these days. But I do like the golf. I mean, they offer 11 places.
98.
Could you imagine 11 places in the snooker?
Yeah, that's
Be a poor
crazy.
bookie somewhere out there, wouldn't they, if they
Yeah.
offered that? But let's stop the surmising about betting, because we have a very important milestone here. Halborn could be making the century. And there it is with the black. And this actually could be... Now, I don't know what the high break of the tournament is. This could be it.
Wow, yeah.
40 on here, potentially.
This is a good chance. Nice high break.
Now, according to this, it would be the high break.
The highest break, would it?
It would, if he keeps this going.
Wow.
Again, don't want to ruin any of the other matches by what specific breaks have been made, but just to say that no break has been made of 140 yet if he is to make this. So let's see if
exciting.
he keeps this up.
It's
Now,
exciting.
The yellow could be a pro. No, the yellow's okay actually. The brown and the green, just looking at those. But this has been a great match, I have to say.
Definitely.
We got off to a good start, and that's just continued. Some real high-class snooker from both players. Again, as we said, Presh a little bit unlucky to come out the lose today, but there can only be one winner in these matches. Come on, Halborn, I want a cup of tea.
Yeah, 140. I want to see 140.
Who cares about your high break? I just want a drink now.
We know you've won. It's bizarre, isn't it, snooker? I was thinking about this the other day when I was watching it on the TV. It's one of the very few sports where you look, a high break, a century break, every century break that happens doesn't need to happen. There is no point for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, as soon as the frame is won, it's over. So every century break, every 147 is completely pointless. There's no reason for it. There's no practical reason to play on. Yeah, it's the reason why we watch the game. It's such a weird thing about snooker. It's so strange. I can't think of any other sport that has like basically a brag, like right, we've won the frame, let's just keep going. Such a strange thing about snooker.
I'm just trying to think. You can't make any sort of comparison anywhere. It's an interesting one, that.
I even with pool, there is no reason to keep playing on with pool. 9-ball pool, 10-ball pool, 8-ball pool. The game finishes on that last ball. But with snooker, like, the game finishes when the other person can't win and can't be asked to catch up. And so that means by default, every 100 break, every large break, just is completely irrelevant, really. After they've won, there's no reason to play on. But it's such a weird thing. I just wonder how fast snooker would be if everybody just stopped as soon as they could win. Very strange. But anyway, he's on for 140. Very impressive. He's left the long blue, and he's just got a bit of an awkward pink and black to go. And he's on for the highest break we've seen so far. And of course, it comes from the man himself, Halborn. Let's see if he can do it. What do you reckon, Toby?
You wouldn't back against him.
No.
Yeah, you really wouldn't.
No,
the blue
absolutely
looks pretty
not.
good to me. It's just all about whether he can hold for the pink.
Yeah.
Let's hope he's not colourblind, because these are in the opposite to positions where they are usually.
I think he'd be, even if he's colourblind, I think he'd be okay with the pink and black. I'm sure he'll be able to tell the difference.
Oh, come on, cue ball.
Played it a little bit too far here. This is he's made it very, very difficult for himself.
Cutback of all cutbacks, unless you want to go to the middle pocket. But yeah, I don't fancy that either.
No, I think he might even double it here, so it might be end of break, which is unfortunate. He's going to try it.
Nothing to lose.
No.
He only needs 22 snookers, so I'm sure that Presh he's realised he's out of this. But come on, Halborn.
Here we go.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's unlucky.
That wasn't far away at all, but that is going to be the last shot of the match.
Yeah.
Halborn13 representing John Higgins is the victor. 3 frames to 1 against Presh. And Halborn moves on to the quarterfinals now. He's going to play against Big Mac in the televised quarterfinal. And just for a bit of pride, Presh has the last say. And I'm sure Halborn won't be too pleased about that. I know I wouldn't be.
Such a funny thing to do. Just to get a point. Pink. Just to get a point on the board.
Well, it's going to be his last action, isn't it? So he might as well. And to be fair, 2 pretty good pots to end off his Community World Championship. But that is going to be it for Presh. No more Gary Wilson. But Halborn carries on. And the favourite now for the tournament. His odds shortened slightly. He's won that one by 3 frames to 1. Thank you very much to you all. And to Chinny for joining me today. And we'll be back tomorrow night with the second of the round of 16 encounters.